Hi, I'm Steve Moriarty from Moriarty's Gem Art. We're a jeweler on the square in Crown Point, and we also represent ourselves online as MoreGems.com. So today we're just getting ready to set up this ring, and we're going to put a peridot in it. But as I looked at it, here's the peridot. Make a beautiful ring, but looking at it under the scope, I see that it has a scratch on the table. So today I'm going to try and show you how to repair a scratch like this. When they're on the table and the stone is a reasonable size, a carat or more, my first attempt is to just do it by hand. That'll be the quickest and easiest way rather than dopping it up and fastening it with the machine. So we'll first start by cleaning off the lap real well. I'm using a bat lap on this stone, and we'll be polishing with 50,000 diamond. So we won't be cutting it all, we'll just be polishing through the scratch. So get it charged up, not too much, but sufficient, because it's not a real deep scratch, but it is a fairly significant scratch that has to come out. So I set the machine at a relatively slow speed, turn it off, and put the stone table down on the lap. Hold on to it, and you really need to hold on to it good. Sometimes it grabs. And hopefully we'll get a quick and easy solution to this scratch on the stone. Doesn't always come easy. Sometimes you'll start it and it won't be on there real flat, and you end up with two facets. What you have to do then is either continue to polish. If it's not too far off, you can polish the facet all the way across the stone and get rid of the scratch. But sometimes you have to then go to actually dopping it up and putting it in the machine and then faceting. It just takes so much time to do that if you can do it with this method, much quicker. So let's give it a shot. Just start the machine. Kind of wanted to get away from me there. Kind of lost my grip a little bit, but push down fairly hard. And it does take a while, particularly a bigger stone. I'm going to have to stop it because I just don't have a good grip on it. Doesn't help that it's oily. And a trillion's a little tougher to hold. But this is bigger stone, so it gets difficult with small stones under a carat. So I'm pushing fairly hard. Take a look at it. Whoop. I usually release the stone before it stops. Not quite that early, but I'm concerned that when it gets going real slow, it may produce some scratches. I don't know if that's true, but that's just the way I do it. And we'll take a look at it. And the scratch is still there. It does take some time. And not the easiest thing to keep a hold of these. So I think my scratch is out, but I do have just a little bit of double facets, which is the problem trying to hold this flat to the lap. You can produce more than one facet, but it's close enough that I think I can continue on and get to a single facet on the table. Get rid of some of that material. Still not perfectly flat, and this is what you run into more than half the time. But still, the amount of time you use doing this, if you can get it right, is less than what it would take you to dop the stone up. If the stone's in a mounting, you're going to have to dop it up. Well, I say that, but I have done them in a mounting. A little more difficult because you can easily torque the mounting while you're holding it, but well worth a shot trying it in the mounting. Of course, that'll save you huge time. Still two facets. Almost there. And again, pushing pretty hard on the stone. Just a little more. So finally, the scratch is gone, the double facets are gone, and I've got a nice clean table. It's often a little more difficult than what you would think like that because it just tends to produce a second facet, and then you've got to keep working at it to try and polish that out and get to a single facet. So still much quicker than dopping it up, and a good result here on the bat lap. So now we can go ahead and set it in our mounting, and it'll make a beautiful piece. So hopefully that helps you in repairing facets without dopping, and because when you dop it up in the machine, it's always somewhat difficult to find out where that flat table is, and when you just push it on the lap, to me it's much easier. So I'm Steve Moriarty from Moriarty's Gem Art and MoreGems.com. Thanks for watching.